You have infinite potential. You are absolutely unlimited in your ability to manifest, to create, to bring into your life and create the life that you actually want for yourself. You are capable of anything, anything that you put your mind to. And it feels like I'm being called to kind of remind you of this. When you are in this energy of recognizing how infinite and how powerful you are, you become unstoppable. Nothing can stop you in your tracks, and nothing can stop you from reaching that goal. And I feel like you need a little bit of a reminder here. I had this really beautiful experience this weekend that was very random and also feels like a sign or synchronicity for me personally, as well as something I want to share. So, this weekend, I was feeling like I needed to get out of the house and do something. It's winter here in New York, so it's about that time of the year where we're kind of like in that in between space, and I felt like I needed to go out. So I looked around to see like what was going on this weekend, and as I was looking through the things, I found this Bigfoot. I don't know. It was like a Bigfoot kind of conversation or a Bigfoot conference of some sort, a Bigfoot meetup. And what they had said in the meetup was that it was for like minded individuals. Now, I'm going to preface this with I don't know that I believe in Bigfoot. I don't know that I don't believe in Bigfoot. I mean we are here soaring around on a rock in the middle of this universe that is expanding faster than the speed of light. So, I'm not sure I believe and I'm not sure that I don't. I'm kind of a middle ground kind of person here with it. But it was really interesting because I ended up going to this thing and I was like, you know what, I'll go and I'll give it like 30 minutes. And if I hate it, I'll leave, right? It was free. So why not, right? So I did go and I ended up having this really beautiful experience. And I ended up actually staying the whole entire time. And it was very interesting to me because at this event, it was where people were sharing their experiences and what they'd seen and what they experienced and that kind of stuff, which was interesting to me, right? And then there were these guest speakers that came in and spoke about different things. There was this one guest speaker, and he spoke about how he does this full time. He goes out into the woods and he hunts Bigfoot or searches or seeks out Bigfoot for the whole year. He camps outside most of the year, and this is what he does for a job. And he creates, he has this like show that he puts production on or production through, and he creates it and he posts it on YouTube. And he's in season 10. So he's been doing this for what, 10 years now, right? And what was really interesting to me is that you can do anything that you want to do. If you're passionate enough about it, if you believe in yourself enough, if you keep following that track to where you can do anything. You can even go out and look for Bigfoot. I just thought it was so beautiful and so inspirational. And you know, the interesting thing about the guy is that he wasn't trying to convince you that Bigfoot existed or not. It was just what fascinated him and what he enjoyed. And I just thought that that was really beautiful. It's this idea that what you enjoy and what you're passionate about, you can create into anything that you desire or want if you're willing to do the work and take the action, right? And so it was very interesting to me in that piece. The other piece that I thought was very fascinating as well, and I think people who have had spiritual awakenings or who have been through spiritual experiences will also connect to this, is he was talking about how he became a Bigfoot investigator, like how he ended up doing it. And it was really interesting because he was an EMT at some point in time. And then he decided that he was going to go camping one night and go and look for Bigfoot. And it was like this random, silly thing that he was planning on doing, right? And he ended up going and he ended up having an experience where he thinks that he experienced Bigfoot in the area, right? And it completely changed the trajectory of his life. Just like a spiritual awakening changes the trajectory of your life. And I just thought that was so cool. And what it reminds me of is like these little moments, right? Oh, and I'm getting emotional as I'm saying this. These little moments from spirit that we all experience, and we all, God, the universe, whatever you call it, right? That we all experience and we all have at some point in time, maybe even multiple points in time, right? Where you're reminded that you've always been on the right path, that you're going the right way, that you're not alone. And it was really beautiful because this experience for him changed the trajectory of his life. And this is how he ended up starting to do what he was doing. He had no idea that he was going to end up doing that. And a lot of the guys that spoke at this conference, or whatever you want to call it, talked about that. They talked about how they had these like really crazy spiritual, that's what I'll call it, experiences where they had never had an experience like this, and it completely changed the trajectory of their life. It cracked open their psyche, and it made them believe and think about the impossible, right? And a lot of them actually created a lot of businesses out of this, and it became their new passion and their new excitement. And the other piece that I really liked about what this guy said, and it sat with me for a really long time afterwards, was, does the Loch Ness Monster exist? Does Bigfoot exist? Nah, who really knows? But life is far more superior believing that it might rather than it doesn't. And I loved that because I feel like that is exactly what I experienced when I went through my awakening, was this beautiful experience of, I'd rather believe because it brings up inspiration in me. It makes me feel like a kid again. I feel excitement. I can see magic, right? I'd rather believe than not because of what I receive from believing, right? And so, did I leave this Bigfoot thing feeling like I believe in Bigfoot? No, I don't know that I left feeling that way. And I honestly don't believe that that was the purpose of me going to that. I feel like, we're all on our own journeys, right? And, my journey right now is about stepping into something that I never really fully believed I could do, and fully stepping into that and fully going full force into that, right? And I've done it over and over and over again at this point. I'm just doing it in a different way at this point in time personally. It's my own experience. And I just think that this was that little moment, that little synchronicity from the universe, because I was pulled to go this weekend. I thought about it a couple of different times and I was like, all right, I'll go, I'll go, I'll go. And leading up to it, I also saw a lot of angel numbers leading up to it when I was thinking about it. So I was like, okay, I got to go to this thing. Right. And if I hate it, I'll leave. Right. But what I'm realizing is that it was this synchronistic moment where it was like, you can do anything. You are infinite. You can do anything that you want to do, and you can create anything that you want to create. And it really starts with you being able to have the self trust and the confidence to do it, to step into the unknown, right? I'm sure that that guy, when he decided he wanted to be a Bigfoot investigator, had no idea what he was doing, right? He had no idea where he was going or how he was going to do it, or he probably didn't even have that producing show whatever set up yet, right? Yeah, most likely not. And he just followed his passion. He just followed his heart. He just let himself dream. He just let himself imagine. And he's been able to create a life doing this now for, I think it was about, he was 28 when he started, he was 36 there. We're talking 8 years. 8 years he's been able to live this way. And he was a really happy dude. I could tell he was really happy. He was really silly. And you could tell that he just loved what he was doing. And I think also the other piece that I took away from this was, this experience of like, what a crazy thing to want to do, right? and not giving a fuck what anybody else thinks, not caring, right? And just going for it anyways. I mean, seriously, like Bigfoot, really, like, you know, like the spiritual stuff, there's a lot of people in it, whatever. I mean, Bigfoot, I guess there's a good amount of people too. I mean, you got your crew anywhere you go, anything you do. I think it's just really amazing and beautiful. And I just wanted to share that today because I feel like we are so infinite and we can do anything that we really want to do. But it really comes down to you truly being able to believe in yourself and trust in yourself and release and shed and let go of all of the fears, right, that we were taught growing up. Like letting yourself release and let go of all of the ideas that we have to fit into these systems, that we can't make money without working underneath somebody else, right? Like I always like to think about this idea of like, whose dream do you want to create, yours or someone else's? Because that's what working for someone is you creating their dream, right? But if you can dream big enough and you can have the courage and the strength to take the step into the unknown, absolutely beautiful things can happen. And I watched it with those three speakers and the stories that they told during this meetup. And I just thought it was really inspirational and really amazing and so beautiful. And just like a reminder that you can even go and find Bigfoot if you want to do that. Right? There's no substantial evidence that he exists. I mean, they would probably argue separately, but you can do anything you want to do. Do you trust yourself enough to do that? Do you believe in yourself enough to do that? Do you have the courage to step out and do something different? That's what everything breaks down into. And, you know, I don't think that these people had all of those things when they took the step into the unknown, right? Like, and I can say that for myself. I didn't have all of that stuff when it's something you grow, it's something you learn, it's something you kind of form as you step into the unknown. And it's a process that happens over time. But what I would argue is that they definitely decided that they wanted to shift identities. They decided that they wanted a different way of life. They decided that they wanted to be somebody else. They wanted to do something different. And so, with that shift in identities, right, there's that courage, that authenticity, that drive to move forward, that passion, right? Those things all need to be there for you to step into that self trust. And I'm sure that in the beginning it was really difficult and it felt really hard, but they did it, right? And that's solely because they kept going. They kept putting one foot in front of the other. They kept taking that step, even when it was freaking scary and they had no idea if they were going to be caught or landed, right? It's kind of like it reminds me so much of the full experience in the tarot. And that's why I like tarot, because I feel like it's trying to help you to see that you can do anything if you follow your heart. And that leaping into the unknown is what we came here for. It's to learn, it's to grow, it's to expand. It's beautiful. And, I just think that we are all infinite. We are all capable of anything that we believe we're capable of. As long as you believe it, you can achieve it, right? We hear that all the time. But to really embody that and live that, that's something very different. Something very different. But also remember, they all started somewhere, right? Everybody starts somewhere. Just like Elon Musk started somewhere. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was winging it, right? We're all out here winging it. We're all out here doing the best that we can, winging it and figuring it out as we go and learning from each other, right? And that's just like this beautiful part of kind of like this experience, in my personal opinion. So I really wanted to share that with you because I just thought it was so freaking cool. And I'm not here to argue if Bigfoot exists or not, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. But I do think that it's just such a more beautiful world and a more beautiful experience when I believe that magic exists, when I believe that anything is possible. And I've never seen myself be able to step into the unknown in such a way without that belief. That was something that needed to happen for me as a core belief for me to step into that. Is just like the acknowledgement of those things. And it makes life really exciting and silly, right? I don't know if you see this all the time online, but they talk about like, oh, my girlfriend's a witch, my wife's a witch, whatever, right? And but she believes that everything has purpose, that everything's a sign, that everything's beautiful. And there's just something really beautiful about that, in my personal opinion. And I'm very much the same way. So if you're the same way, I'd be interested to hear about it. And if this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your story below if you'd like to share. But if you do need help with self-trust and confidence, I do have a self-trust reset on my website at crystalclearmystic.com. It is for free. You can go and take a look at it. It can help get you started. And that's exactly what I do in my coaching is I help people build that self-trust. I help them build the confidence. I help them release and let go of all of the things that are keeping them blocked from moving forward into the life that they want for themselves. And just feeling good in general and happy in general on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. But I love you so much. And I hope you have a great day.